Welcome to this wake-up session of the Brain Upgrade program. I'm Johan Koels, mental coach and author of the book Brain Upgrade for the Brain Pandemic. And in this session, I will talk about the CoCo spiral. But before I start, we can first watch a short video which illustrates the topic, and then I will explain you the importance and essence of this so-called CoCo spiral. I hope you enjoyed this rescue operation and specifically the elephant's gratitude as much as I did. In a minute I will explain you how this video relates to the CoCo spiral and to the challenges we face in what I call the CUPCA world. The first C of CUPCA stands for more chaos we experience. I'm convinced that you will probably agree that there is a lot of turbulence going on nowadays. And as society becomes more chaotic, so does our personal life. Next we have the U, which represents all the uncertainties we face in a world that becomes more and more unstable. Various fundamental aspects of our society, such as food, finances, and education, are under threat, and the changes that are pushed are unpredictable and seem to spin completely out of control. The P stands for more polarities that divide us, and they are an important source of disconnection and conflicts. A lot of these polarities are illusions and are getting artificially created and promoted to further divide humanity. This is explained in much more detail in the book, and I will surely devote an extra video session on it. The second C stands for more complexity, and this also relates to the speed with which new technologies are introduced. Everything around us becomes more complicated as we have to adapt our life to these new technologies in order to keep functioning in society. For the older generations, this has turned into a real nightmare because in most cases they lack the mental capacities to cope with that. Finally, the A stands for chronic anxiety. This is the result of all these negative factors. Chained by this fear, we lose our personal power to stand up and face our real challenges with effective action. The big problem with fear is that it activates your primitive brain, and then all you can do is freeze, flight, or fight. Unfortunately, a lot of people are the victim of this brain pandemic and lost their personal power to fight. The key question is, what is really causing the evolution of our society to this CUPCA world? Because if you cannot find the root cause, then you just keep fighting the symptoms. Just like you take a painkiller for a headache that is caused by chronic stress. It's a symptomatic treatment that never solves anything, and you only suffer the side effects of the medication. And that's why all the wars and revolutions which we have fought never rendered a real transformation in our society that really benefited the world populations. It never made society more human-friendly, as I call it. Well, the main cause is left brain dominance and the fact that the power structures and major organizations and companies in the world are built on a male-dominant patriarchal model. This model is about survival of the fittest, beating up your competitors, and aggression towards members of your own species. Tribal wars have raged for ages, and the modern wars only differ because of more sophisticated weapons and better communication technologies. From this perspective, we have not evolved. You could even say we are in regression, as we invented countless ways to massively destroy ourselves. In our book, we quote the neuroscientist McGilchrist, who wrote in his book, The Divided Mind, that most of the critical problems of the world are related to this left brain dominance. The left brain functions rational and logic, and it's perfect for exploitation, but it lacks the empathy of the right brain to connect, to share, and to care. And that is specifically the worldwide challenge we face more and more. This is how our ecosystem and natural habitat is getting destroyed because it renders massive financial gains for big corporations. So how does this stressful CoCo world affect us? First of all, we tend to become egocentric. Because of the chaos and uncertainty, we try to protect and control what we have, and therefore we only take care of our small inner circle. Secondly, and because we perceive the world outside as dangerous and uncertain, we tend to isolate ourselves and stay freezed in a self-serving cocoon of false security. In combination with all the polarities of our black and white thinking, we are getting even more disconnected. In one of the next sessions, I will explain that the projected image of the world we perceive is mostly false and distorted, and even nothing more than a projected reality illusion. For now, we need to focus on the key question, and that is, what's the solution to turn the tide? First of all, let me remind you of a well-known quote from Einstein, which, as you see, has also been integrated in the book. You cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that caused it in the first place. Therefore, we urgently need a new paradigm, and that is what this CoCo spiral is all about. It promotes a new way of thinking and living, and it can be the foundation for a more human-friendly society based on right brain dominance. This is the creative, loving, compassionate, and empathic side of the caring mother, which replaces egocentrism by ecocentrism. With such a mindset, we can enjoy our true nature again and feel connected with everything and everybody around us. Restoring all those lost connections is one of the main aspects of the CoCo spiral. Whatever you feel connected with, you will nurture and care about. That alone will shift your perception and focus. Nobel Prize winner for Peace Albert Schweitzer described it very eloquently when he explained that once you approach life with an enlightened heart and noble vision, you may notice the spontaneous gesture of the man picking up the struggling earthworm on the hot asphalt. That's how we need to connect again with each other and obviously as well with our natural habitat. The CoCo spiral can be compared with a growing wave, and it all starts with better communication without falling into the trap of polar thinking. This way you can connect easier with everybody around you, and these better connections will always arouse feelings of togetherness and stimulate the coherence we are missing in this world. Coherence comes when you start thinking with your empathic heart brain. This happens when you're more externally focused and easier recognize the emotions and needs of others. This stimulates collaboration and finally leads to contribution. As you see, our new paradigm is based on contribution, which stands in complete contrast with the current ruling paradigm of our society. This spiral can grow exponentially and organically as it inspires others to join. And that is specifically the importance of this CoCo spiral, because it enables personal transformation as a foundation for the transformation of society. I share all this with you so you can reflect on your own life to discover to what extent you are one of the billions of victims of this Skupka world. The content of this wake-up session is covered in more detail in the book BrainUpgrade for the BrainPandemic. You can already download an English and Dutch teaser on our website, yourbrainupgrade.com. After registration as a member, you can also find a 50-page free ebook, Aha Moments During Your Brain Upgrade, also in Dutch and English. This little consciousness booklet is a condensed version of the main book, and it's illustrated with various cartoons of the Newits. This is the cartoon family I created for this purpose. One of the pets of the Newits is a tropical parrot. He's very social and always communicating and connecting with everybody. Therefore, I named him CoCo, which was derived from the CoCo spiral. Here you can see CoCo with on the background a painting of the CoCo spiral. So, I hope this session has enriched and inspired you, and may I ask you to subscribe to my channel and to share these wake-up sessions as much as possible. I thank each of you upfront for joining our wave of consciousness. Take care and contribute with passion.